Hi everyone, this is Amanda Ellis of amandaellis.co.uk and Facebook page Angelic Celestial Colours. This is a meditation linked to helping you to heal your inner child, and as many of you may know, Archangel Metatron has a special place in his heart for children that are being born at this time on the planet and who maybe have sensitive natures, find it hard to acclimatise into the energy of the earth at this time, but also is the keeper and helps us to heal our own inner child. And I suspect that many of you watching this are people, whatever your age is, whether you're 70, 80, 18, whatever, you came in with an advanced soul that wanted to learn and grow, because you're on your spiritual path. You wouldn't be watching this if you weren't. And so therefore it's trying to help heal the inner child, whatever age you are at now. And the first energy that I picked up today, just pulling some cards out, was this one, which is about acceptance. And to me, this feels like a big part of it, because very few people out there have completely perfect childhoods. Because the truth is, our parents or the guardians that brought us up are imperfect as we are as human beings. Part of the human condition is that we are not a fully realized, conscious, um, source connected being at all times, and so therefore we make mistakes. And the thing with parenthood, and I speak about parenthood, being a parent myself, is that nobody gives you the book in terms of how to do it. You learn from example of what you've been brought up with and what maybe has happened through the family chain. So, you know, patterns and structures get passed down. But also when you then become a parent, you realise what a difficult job it can be at times and how children can really push our buttons. And so therefore I feel as though doing work on ourselves and our own inner child is not in any way about judgment of the past or about even trying to rewrite the past or erase the past. It's about coming to a place of acceptance in terms of whatever's happened in childhood, so that we're able to move on with our inner child feeling happier and more whole to the next stage of our journey at whatever age that is that we are. What I'd like to do is run through a meditation here, which I first introduced in a few workshops earlier on this year, and it feels as though a number of people have benefited from it, and I just felt I wanted to share it on a wider basis. So if it resonates, please share. And also this is something that you can watch over and over again, because it's a technique whereby Metatron will take you back to whatever age is appropriate today for you to be looking at and healing. And that can very easily differ from day to day, month to month. So it definitely is something that you can redo. I'm going to be using some of my sprays, which I sell on my website, and there is actually an inner child essence, which is a rose pink colour. Looks like this. Can't really pick up the colour very well from here, but it's a beautiful pale pink bottle. Looks white, I know, on the screen, but it's pale pink. And it has a rose energy to it, and it is made up of rose geranium, rose otto, yang yang, and I think it might be Palma rosa, but it's on my website, the actual ingredients. So it has a very rosy smell to it. But Metatron is also saying, as I'm talking to you, this isn't about looking through rose-coloured spectacles at the past. It's also about looking with truth at this, whatever happened to us as a child, but doing so from a place of love. And of course, pink and the colour rose is to do with love. So, and I'm also going to be using this one as well, Sapphire, which is the spray for inner peace, divine peace. And I feel together they just link really nicely, and they help to firstly unravel what is in your heart, but then bring peace to that situation. So without any further ado, I'd just like you to get yourself comfortable in your own space. Ideally, it's probably best to do this sitting up with your back straight so that the chakra system is clear. And I'd like you to really just connect in to your feet on the ground. And you may have done this many times before, but it is so imperative to just feel the earth beneath your feet and your close connection to what we call Mother Earth, and the earth as one of our parents that is here to support us in life, and just get a feeling of the security and the safety that the earth provides you at this time, putting roots down into the earth and pulling up a very beautiful bronze copper energy up into the soles of your feet, and then going up into your ankles and your shins, as far up as you need to, but it feels to me as though it's going up to about the level of the knees. So you can really feel the fact that you're rooted into the energy of Mother Earth as we do this. And as you're rooted into Mother Earth, you can also just feel your Earth Star chakra, which is beneath your feet, about a foot underneath your feet, also starting to awaken and activate. And this just creates a much firmer and wider foundation so that you can feel the safety of the earth. What I'd like us to do, and what I'd like you to imagine now, firstly, is just allowing your body to relax. So maybe just use your breath just to connect into your body. And I'd like you to take a couple of deep breaths, and we're going to breathe in and breathe in a white light. And on the out breath, we're letting go of any stress or tension from our body. So we're breathing in white. And letting out any stale, stressful energy. Breathing in white and letting go. Breathing in white and letting go. And then I'd like you to visualize that you are standing beside a beautiful lake. And this lake is filled with a beautiful water that is sparkling in the sunlight. It's not too choppy. It's just quite a calm, tranquil day, and the water is just gently lapping at your feet as you stand at the edge of this lake. And I'd like you just to use all your senses to imagine yourself beside this lake. You can visualize the trees. You can maybe smell the trees. You can hear the rustle of the leaves of the trees around this lake. You can hear the sound of the water lapping, and you can see the beautiful blue of the lake in front of you. You can maybe feel some stones underneath your feet, or it may be sand that you have underneath your feet, or grass. Just get a sense of what the ground is like upon which you stand, looking out, feeling quite peaceful and quite rested as you just look out onto the water. And as you do so, you become aware of a presence coming in from behind you. And this is the presence of Archangel Metatron, who comes in and actually then stands to one side, and he's standing at your right-hand side. And you both just look out onto the lake. You're not at all perturbed by the energy of Metatron beside you. This is a being that you know very well and that has been around you for many, many years, many of which you have not been aware that he has been with you, but he has been with you, watching and just trying to comfort and support you in times of change and turmoil. And he turns to you and he says, I have been with you always. I have been with you through time and space, and I am with you here through your journey in this life. And he takes your hand, and as he takes your hand, you just feel that connection to him, and you can feel his energy start to enter your body as your two hands meet, and it's as though a very beautiful, warm, electrical current just starts to surge into your hand that he's holding, your right hand, and just starts to flow through your body, sending healing to you. And it feels very reassuring and very safe. And he draws to your attention, sort of pointing in the distance, to a dwelling house that is beside the lake. And he says, shall we walk round to it together? And so you decide to take a walk, and you're walking towards the left-hand side, so going anti-clockwise around the lake. Sorry, you're going this way around the lake. You're going left around the lake. He's showing me it this way. So it actually is going clockwise around the lake. Okay, he's saying it's clockwise. I'm correcting myself there. So you're going to the left. You're walking together towards this dwelling house. And as you get nearer to it, you just become curious as to why you are walking towards it with Metatron, what it symbolises. But it looks to be quite a comfortable building. It looks homely. It looks inviting. You maybe get a sense of the colour of it, the shape of it, how the windows look. And as you just approach it, you haven't quite arrived yet, Metatron explains to you that you are going to go through the door of this property together. And as you enter the house, you will be allowed to step back in time to a place in your childhood that you are ready to look at or remember right now, and that he is going to be coming with you through that door. So with that knowledge, you maybe feel your heart starting to beat a little bit faster, maybe with excitement, maybe a little bit cautious as to what is behind the door, but you have absolute trust and faith in Metatron that you are being taken here for a reason, and you are being taken here with love. And as you get towards the front of the building and you are facing the front door, there's a little path leading up to it. And you can see on the door also there is a number. Maybe you just want to take note of the number on the door as well, and the colour of the door. But at this moment, Metatron turns to you and he says that you are only allowed to go through the door if you take in your higher self. And you take your higher self in so that it can heal the lower aspect of you that is stuck or still in pain from whatever may have happened to you in your childhood. You do not go through the door having to experience again any hurt, any sadness, any betrayal, anything that is detrimental to you. It is your higher self that is going to be going through the door, looking at it from a detached perspective, with love, with Metatron. And you tell him that you understand that is the basis through which you go through the door together. And he smiles at you and says, come on, we're going to go through. The door opens, and together you both take a step across the threshold of this house. And it actually feels very light inside. It's a very light, bright space, much brighter than you imagined it would be. Almost as though you need sunglasses to really see. It's like sunlight is pouring into all the different rooms. But you stand in the hallway and you notice to the right-hand side there is a lounge, a sitting room, and the door is open. And Metatron takes your hand and leads you inside. The first thing you notice in this room is that it is dual aspect. There are windows on each side looking out onto the lake, so you can see the water there. But this time, the water that you're looking out onto represents the emotions that were around you at the time that you are going to be taken back to. And as you look out onto the lake, you suddenly become aware of a child in the room with you. And you're quite shocked to see this child because you didn't realise anybody was going to be in the room with you and Metatron. But you take a look at the child, your higher self takes a look at the child, and you realise that it is you. It is your inner child, and he or she are showing themselves to you at the age with which Metatron would like you to remember and look at today. Take a look now at what your inner child looks like. Take a look at what they are wearing, the clothes that they have on them, maybe the shoes on their feet. Maybe take a look at the way that their hair is arranged, the colour of their hair. But most importantly, take a look at the expression on their face. How do they present themselves to you? At the moment, they haven't even noticed that your higher self is there looking at them. You are just able to watch from a detached perspective your inner child. Take note not just of the expression on his or her face, but take notice, what are they doing? What are they doing? Where are they standing or sitting? Are they playing? Or are they just standing there, not doing much? Whatever it is they are doing, take notice of it now. And the important thing in this room is that this inner child has been brought here for you to see, and they are on their own. For most of you, your child will be standing or sitting or playing on their own. And if there are other people around them at this point, maybe we could just allow them to just sink into the background, because we need the main focus to be on your inner child. The inner child notices Metatron before they notice you. And you can see the look of recognition in your inner child's face and eyes as they see the beloved, mighty Archangel Metatron. And Metatron goes towards them, but he actually bends down on both knees, so he's at the level of your child. And the child, you, run into his arms and you embrace. Maybe just note how you feel as you embrace him, whether it's easy for you or whether you're a little bit wary. It doesn't matter, you're just looking at what is happening, the interaction between Metatron and this child that represents your inner child. And then Metatron looks this child in the eyes and says to him or her, what is troubling you? What do you need help with? You can tell me now. And then with love, he just bends his ear towards the child, and the child whispers or shouts, take note of what your child is doing, into his ear. For some of you it may be a short conversation, for some of you it may be quite long. Just take note of what it is that is being said to Metatron now. And as this happens, he absorbs any pain, any hurt, any challenge, any stress, any tears that that child has. It is as though by listening and by hearing and by that child being acknowledged by Metatron, the energy lightens and the heaviness starts to dissolve. And you're just watching this interaction between the two of them, and you can visibly see the inner child's energy field lighten and the sense of burden being removed from them. And you start to feel a sense of joy around the child, transferred from Metatron, and it feels really infectious and beautiful. And into that we spray the rose pink energy. And I would like you to imagine that the rose pink is now coming down around the inner child and around Metatron as you just watch this very beautiful embrace. Pink love raining down on the child. And as well as that, we have sapphire blue bringing in the peace. So you have two energies now going into the child, divine peace and love. And after a short while, you notice that the child has become distracted, and it's actually become distracted at the adult you watching it. And I'd just like you to take note of each other and get a sense of what it feels like when your inner child recognizes its adult self. You and they, one person, separated simply by time. And Metatron says time is an illusion anyway. And he stands between you and your inner child, acting as a bridge between you both. And you can feel Metatron's love pouring into your inner child's heart and into your adult self's heart. And as that bridge builds, you start to feel more unified. And the child and the adult you start to merge together and integrate into one being. And there is just a feeling of peace and acceptance that you and they are one. And with that knowledge and with that energy feeling more complete, more healed, more light, you allow your inner child just to nestle into your heart space where you are going to create a home for them now. Metatron may actually give you something at this point to help this process, and if that is so, just be aware of what he is giving you now. And then as this process completes, you look out onto the lake with Metatron, you, your higher self, your adult self, your child self, one person, and Metatron, and you see that the lake looks calm and tranquil and blue. And Metatron opens the door and says, it's time to go now. And you realise that you are going to leave the house with that aspect of your inner child that was waiting to be healed or recognised or heard. And you are taking her or him with you, a more complete and unified person. And you go through and across the door with Metatron, and you stand back onto the lake, knowing that for now, this process, this healing is complete. And then feeling the soft breeze against your face, the smell of the water, fresh water, the sound of nature around you. You also notice a bird that lands at your feet, and it brings attention back to the earth beneath your feet. And you get a sense of the groundedness of the earth once again. But you also can see this little bird hopping around you, taking note of what it is, what it represents, but also Metatron is saying it represents lightness, the ability to fly and soar above anything that may have happened to us and to heal. I hope you found that helpful, and as I said at the start of this meditation, it's something which you can come back to, because the truth is we often leave little parts of our past and our childhood behind, locked into different times and dimensions, and it's important that we integrate them all back into who we are now, because our adult self wants them back, and we can then really step into a whole, complete, more loving future. And I'm going to pick a card here just as the one to leave you on, just as an energy to leave you on. And let's just see what Metatron has to say here. Okay. This was in the other video that I did 2 days ago, the August video, The Tide is Turning. Those of you that have watched that, I talked about this. It's that symbolism of water again. Water feels like it's very, very important at this time. I've also got sunset, end of a cycle. That was a similar one that came up last time. And I've got the gratitude card. Actually really important to have gratitude and to remember that whatever has happened to us in the past, there is an opportunity to grow and learn from. Okay, anybody that has questions on numbers and colours of doors, You can write something here if you would like guidance on that. But for now, I send you lots of love and I hope you enjoy that video. Thank you. Bye. Oh, can I just say one final thing before the video ends? My email address has changed as of yesterday. And if you need to reach me now, other than my webpage, which is amandaellis.co.uk, my email is amandaellis11@outlook.com. Much blessings. Bye.